Call the meeting to order at 7:02. 7:02, call to order. So here, present, Paul, Lou, Rob, and David by phone. And Bob Murphy is not here tonight, will not be here tonight. Citizens business, none noted. Motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion. There you go.
Second. Any changes or discussion? Noted. Guess I did that backwards, didn't I?
I made the motion, Dave seconded it, right?
Yeah, but now I need to approve the minutes. That's what I should have done. Try and amend that motion to be to approve the minutes. Motion to approve the minutes, not discuss them.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing further discussion, hearing none. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. David?
Aye, yep.
Okay. Gotta keep up here, we're moving. Clerk report.
Just updating everyone on what's going on. Right now, we're just taking applications for the kayak rack, which will end mid-February. Flats and beaches will go on until September. The ferry dock and the clothesline are all set. North Cove still working on a few issues, a couple of which I wanted to just go over with you tonight. One of them is for Mr. Makowitz.
Okay.
He is a new mooring holder, one of the three who were invited after the last meeting. He is sharing a boat with a friend, and so the friend went to get his name on the registration, but since he and his wife are both on it, and I don't know if it's because they have a long last name or what, there didn't seem to be room for Mr. Makowitz's name on the actual registration, although he provided this DMV receipt.
Right.
So I just wanted to double check if this is considered adequate documentation for you guys for me to approve him.
So who would be the mooring holder?
Mr.
John
Makowitz is the
is the
mooring.
mooring holder.
The Petrowski is the partner.
Partner.
Yeah.
Who has the boat.
Yes.
Petrowski is not on this DMV receipt?
He's not.
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
he is.
Yeah.
But Mr. Makowitz's name doesn't actually appear on the registration thing because he said they ran out of room. So he provided this other DMV receipt to show that his name is also on it. And I never had this situation before, so I figured I would just bring it before you.
So, there it is, Nick Meckwitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the situation is the mooring holder does not have a boat, but the friend has the boat. And so I think as long as the mooring holder remains Makowitz, he has to own the boat he puts on the mooring, right?
Well, he's splitting it. with the
Yeah.
same guy,
Yeah, I
right?
know, but his name
It's
is on
not
the
on it, right?
It's only
just
on this. I don't even know if this.
receipt. It's just a receipt for payment of $150
Well, yeah, I don't know. It says additional customers.
Right.
So
up at the top. Boy, I don't know.
It's definitely the same deed. So,
Jennifer, is he on, could they provide a bill of sale?
There you
Showing
go.
both names on there.
That's the
So that
solution.
I don't think that's how it will work because Mr. Makowitz had, when he had signed up for the wait list a while ago, I mean, he had a different boat. And so then I guess he got rid of it and he has struck a deal with this friend. The friend owns the boat and whatever they've agreed to, they're going in on it together for this thing. I don't think it's like a matter of his friend selling part of it to him. I don't know.
I mean,
The
take,
boat-
you
Yeah,
take,
are they purchasing the boat together, or is it just convenient now that he doesn't have a boat, that he's got a friend with a boat, so he can put his friend's boat on the?
Yeah, sounds a little,
that's a little,
I think he needs to sell the boat,
I need to be,
or be a 51% owner of the boat.
right. I think we need a bill of sale showing he's part owner. I think is the way to phrase it back to him.
Okay.
Otherwise, we can't, I don't think we can approve it, because we could have all kinds of people saying, oh, I've got a friend, we were partners in a boat, and
Because in the past, as long as somebody's name was on the registration, that's all we required.
Yeah, no, but I don't see it on the
it's
registration.
not on the registration.
So I have to tell him either your name has to be on this registration or you have to show us a bill of sale that shows that you're a partial owner of the boat.
I mean, cause
Yeah.
what happens if Mr. Makowitz decides, I'm out of here? And this guy comes to us and says, well, my boat's been here.
Well, that's
not a
easy
mooring holder.
because he's not a mooring holder. I mean, I don't have a problem with that.
I think it does need to be on the vessel registration.
Yeah, I think, because otherwise, if somebody's name comes up, they don't have a boat, they just go find a friend with a boat and get their name on the registration.
Or just
And then
find
they-
somebody who, yes, but somebody who wants to put their boat on a mooring and
Right.
then rent it out to them.
Right, exactly.
Because right now the registration is him and his wife. It's Petrowski, Arthur, or joint Petrowski, Maria.
Yeah.
So Maria needs to come off and.
Yeah, that's right.
To somehow get,
Yeah,
registration.
I think so.
Makowitz should be on there.
Okay.
It is weird that it's additional customer, but I don't even know what that means.
The only other thing I can think of is some statement by the DMV that this is a co-owned vessel.
Yeah.
They can get the DMV to state that. And maybe that's what this is stating, but I don't know how to read their, if a receipt is official.
Yes, the license is
Yeah,
listed there too.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell him your name has to be on the registration, or you have to provide proof that the vessel is co-owned either through the DMV documentation or
bill of sale.
bill of sale.
He should be the majority owner too, right? Is there, do we enforce that or?
I don't know.
No, we need to,
That-
never really had to. But otherwise, the place could fill up with friends' boats.
Mhm.
On to issue 2 with the
Alright.
second of 3 people who were offered a mooring. So, this person originally was on the wait list with a boat that was over 40 feet.
Okay.
And so he, downsized, I think partially because, I told him he would have a better chance.
Yep.
So it looks like I mean, this is his email that he sent me. He put in his application a 39-foot boat, I believe. And then when I checked the registration, because I always go in and look, it was for this 22-foot boat. So that's why I contacted him. And I said, you need to fix this. It doesn't match. And so then he sent me back this note that he's getting a bigger boat. So he wants the size space reserved, but right now he only has the 22-foot placeholder. So I just want to see if that's okay before I approve this
What are
one.
your thoughts?
Does he have the specs on the boat? I mean, it's a 39-foot boat, what's the draft and stuff like that on it?
Yeah, it's all in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he's gonna have it down this year. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't want this to want a couple of years of trying to get it down here. I don't mind doing it for this year. He put the 22-foot boat out for now.
1 year.
As soon as he gets the 39-foot boat this year, then he lets you know the registration, gives you the information stuff on it, lets me know, then we're all happy. But just don't want to see it go on for a couple of years, that he's gonna do something.
Okay.
So 1 year.
That sound fair?
Yeah, I think so. Glad you're okay with that. 1 year too.
It's funny, you're saying you pull the engine out of the boat so it doesn't need to be registered.
No, I didn't get, that was the part where I got lost.
I know.
I think, when I read it, I read it as he
I
had
can't-
another boat that he could put there, maybe the old one.
I can't do that. Can I pull the engine out of the other boat? Form request.
Why would you do that?
All I'm thinking is like, we're only trying to fill 3 spots this year and it's this
Oh,
hard.
right. I would say, yeah, I think, given that Scott says it's okay. I think what he's saying is he'll put his old 40, whatever, the one he had out there or something. Anyway, it doesn't.
Yeah, I just wonder, a boat with no engine, is it just a, mooring holder?
Yeah. All right.
So
Okay.
I'm still waiting on the 3rd spot to be filled and, Todd Hart to complete his application. So then we'll be done for the season in there too.
Okay, good.
Receipts are looking pretty good. You're within like $11,000 of your, income goals for this year. And, about it for me.
Okay, well, thank you. No, let's see, we did North Cove mooring update. We kind of did that, right?
Yeah,
There's nothing further. We do have, new ladders, Sheffield Street Dock. I see there's an invoice for materials later.
Yep, so he, ordered materials coming from Riverhead, New York.
Mhm.
And actually, because it's the 2.5 pound treatment for marine, they actually got to send it back to the treatment plant to get them treated one more time, second treatment.
2.5.
Yep. So it'll be about 3 weeks before it gets the material,
Okay,
but then I'll start building them in the garage.
we can pay that for that, okay? Clothesline, nothing new that I know of. Anybody? Nothing. Ferry Road, David, we have dredging area discussion and additional slip under the heading. Anything?
Right, yeah, the dredging, I talked to Bob, so is Bob, at the meeting tonight?
I'm here.
Rob's here, yep.
I haven't made a lot of progress on it, so.
Okay.
It's in
I know we
process.
talked about, I talked to Bob, after our last meeting, I gave him some information. And my feeling is if we're gonna go in for dredging permits, we should try to max out whatever we can do down there, which means we probably should try applying for the north side if it's feasible. Doesn't mean we have to do it, but if we can get the permits, and whether we're here to do it or whoever follows this on the commission, might want to, expand, the facility. So I think my feeling is ask for the maximum that we can get and take what they give us if necessary.
Agree. And I think David, that the information you gave me was perfect, like super valuable, because it gave details about the bulkhead. So we can rely on that. And I think step 1 that we kind of discussed a couple meetings ago is really to get a firm to do like a proposal for a sampling and analysis plan. So we can kind of take the first step, see how much material we're talking about, see the quality of it. So we know, is it potentially gonna, able to go offshore? Where's it gonna be disposed of, that kind of stuff? And that can lead us down the permitting road. So we don't kind of dive into it all at once. We'll kind of take it step by step.
No, it sounds good.
Ask Amtrak to put a barge up there for just a couple of days.
Tugboat, just run it.
Yeah,
Tugboat, no problem.
Sorry, go ahead, David.
they're cranking down there. The other thing is on the additional dock, we postponed it from last year. We're trying to get it in, knowing that at some point, the South Yard is going to be dredging for the bridge or do the dredging. What we should do is probably try to get another dock in that corner, especially since the guy down at, who gave us an estimate on it is still making them this year. While he's available, it might be worthwhile pursuing that. So that's why I wanted to add that to the list. And I don't know if anybody else is opposed to it or wants to proceed with it, I think we should just try to push it through if we can.
Would that be building a dock ahead of getting a permit?
No, it's
No,
building-
no.
fill that empty slip.
Was it-
Oh, I
it was right
see.
here, wasn't it?
I
The
see,
inner
I
one?
see, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, I see.
That, I don't know what the rule is, but there used to be something there.
Yeah, we went through this like a number of meetings ago now, and I'm jogging my
Yeah.
memory, but yeah, we have a history of that being permitted with a slip. The last permit didn't have a dock in that spot because there wasn't one present when they did the drawings. But like, there's a history of that being used as slip. I believe there's still a pile out there for a dock. It just hasn't been used. So,
It's at this point, it's just really a matter of us getting the costs for the dock and probably getting the cost for the installation and then, you know, putting it and just getting it done. You know, my feeling is whether they dredge or not, we could probably still use the expansion. So it'd be worthwhile doing before we lose the permit.
well, there's no permit to lose. It's just that
Correct.
historically it's been there. We just haven't had it there in recent years.
The dock's gonna sit on the mud at low tide,
I think
basically.
most of those docks. Sit on the time.
Is it usable at all?
For like a Carolina skiff, something
Okay.
flat bottom.
Yeah,
If you
it would be used.
But
It
one
would be
day,
usable pretty much at high tide, obviously, and there's people who are so anxious to get in there, they'll make it work. I'm not worried about filling it, to tell you. If it's there, we could lease it.
Someone would take it, okay.
you get 2 spots. in
Mhm. So the request is to get a price for the dock and ramp.
And we don't think we need to
And
permit it, because
installation.
it should be.
No, yeah, I want to look back just because I know we went through this at one point, and I believe I wrote up a kind of an email explaining what I looked into and where we landed on it, but I'm 99% sure we landed in a place where we were pretty comfortable. We didn't need to go back out,
Just do it.
seek a permit that we
Oh.
could rely,
We do, okay.
that we don't, that we
don't,
could
okay.
rely on the fact that it was historic.
The only thing I would suggest is if we go through and do all that, do we have a problem if we replace the piling?
No, you can replace pilings.
Just for the fact that
Yeah.
the piling's older than me.
Mhm. Okay, so David, you gonna get a price for us?
Yeah, I can work on the pricing. And I know I'll look in my file. I'm sure I had it from last year. I'm sure it just needs to be updated. The only thing I don't have is I don't have any cost for installing it. I don't know what it was cost to relocate one pile that's already the existing pile that's there and then put in another pile near the bulkhead for the other end of the float. So I probably have to get Dan or somebody else to give us those numbers. But if you want, I can work on the pricing of it so we have some idea what we're talking about.
I think that would be a good idea. Keep it moving.
All right, I'll move forward on that then.
Good. Harbor master, dock master.
I got a call like a week ago from a homeowner that lives down Bridge Street. Wanting to know when the work was gonna be completed that they're doing at Saybrook Point Inn. And I contacted the harbor master for Saybrook Point Inn and she's guessing around the middle of February. Maybe to the beginning of March, but probably around the middle of February. The homeowner was, I guess, a little upset because the noise at night was keeping her awake.
Are they dredging or driving piles or?
Yeah,
I think they're doing both.
Yeah. It's like I think 2 or 3 barges down there.
They're probably pulling the pilings, dredging and putting them back here. The old ones are new ones.
Right.
But, I tried to explain to her as they explained to me in regards to, their operating hours work off of the tide. You know, sometimes they're digging and making noise at night, sometimes it's during the day, and vice versa as to when they're bringing their load out to be dumped. So she was understanding about it. Ferry Road, the water, I guess we can talk about that when the water bill comes up.
No, give it right now.
David asked me to shut the water off down there. The next day I went down there, shut the water off and shut the main off up top. Went down to the hill there where the back pressure flow valve is, and it was already shut off. Walked down it further and the line was busted. Obviously that's gonna be why we have a higher bill.
Right.
I see we got a bill from the North Cove Yacht Club for the winter storage for the town floats. That's about it.
You know how you said that, you suggested that time at town dock to put like the timer or something on the hose?
I'm trying to think of something for the main line,
Yeah, that's what I was like, is there some sort of like,
because it saved this problem. This honestly, this is the second time it happened.
yeah,
You know,
Yes, Scott, if I can get in, I go down there pretty much on a daily basis, and unfortunately, as you know, where that break was, that line was underwater at high tide, so you never can know that it was busted or it was running. That's the problem with it.
yeah,
I think what I was going to suggest, and I was going to talk about it when the bill came up, is that we do look into a timer on that water, so at least at night it is off. So if it's running during the day, people will see it, and all the guys know how to shut it off down there, so that shouldn't be an issue. But I think it's probably worthwhile looking into a timer.
now going to an old school timer, like, nothing electrical powered, nothing like that, a typical old school power.
Absolutely.
Do you think the guys would be irritated if we put one on the main line, so they'd have to set that to go down and use the water at their dock?
I don't think so, but the only thing the question is, the timer would have to go off probably at like 9 o'clock at night and not be back on till 8 the next morning, just so it covers the night, the night hours when no one's around.
Okay, what I mean is, remember the timer your mom had on the stove when you were a kid? You'd set it for like an hour? Where we
Tick,
have
tick,
one
tick,
timer for the whole main line.
Yeah.
Say you go down there and you wanna use the water, you go down, you set it for an hour, you go do what you're gonna do, you shut off, and at least we know within an hour that main line's gonna be shut off. That way we don't have to buy timers for every single one, it's just
Oh, yeah,
the main
you
line.
and then they can use it day or night, right? Like if somebody comes in at night and wants to use it, it's not like shut off, they just.
And they make them for like sprinkler systems, right? So you
Yeah.
turn on your sprinkler for 30 minutes.
And hot tub.
What do you think of that idea?
Well, I'm sure they'd work with it. If I think what we need to investigate is, is there any better ones out there? I mean, that's.
No, I agree with you 100%. Instead of buying one for every dock, we're buying one for the main line, which we can spend more on a good one.
Right.
Which I agree with that 100%.
No, I would try to get something that would work on the main line rather than individual. We got enough problems with those individual
Yeah, I
lines
know.
to begin with.
Do we know why it broke?
Yeah.
Something hitting it or?
That one has been broken about 3 times. It's on Rick Matson's dock. I don't know what's going on with it. Probably the second or third time that one's been repaired.
Okay.
The other solution is to put a billing thing right on each dock. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Is it plastic pipe though? Is it a flexible HDPE, the high density polyethylene
It's a
pipe?
black pipe.
Yeah.
The problem is everything's put together with hose connectors. Then you get the white tees, which basically the sun dries them out.
So it breaks
It
at the
becomes
T.
brittle plastic. Say the guys did tug on it a little bit. Maybe a later project down the road would be to dig on the inside of the bulkhead and set iron pipe or even plastic pipe in there, but they got better ways of making stuff fit together now instead of hose clamps. You got
I think you can get metal sheet
shark, you
too.
got the hub shark or whatever they call that, they got all these different ways now.
You could put a bronze tee instead of a plastic tee.
Yeah.
That'll probably take the use.
So it sounded like we could use a proposal for a timer,
Mhm.
like you're talking about.
Rob made a good suggestion. Call the water company, ask them what they suggest.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Can
a
you
good
do that,
idea.
or-
I can do it.
Okay, Scott's gonna do that, David.
Okay.
All right, correspondence. I didn't see any other, did we have any other than,
I do, I think I want to add something.
don't think so. We had the,
Oh,
Stop to the break there.
I added,
this note.
Scott wanted to
Here.
talk about that.
Oh, okay.
We both twice in the same spot. That's right.
When they laid the pipe down,
And I added yours.
you got
That thing, yeah. So bring up under the
timber going along down
harbor
lower,
management plan.
and they used metal brackets and screwed it to it, and that bracket rotted off, and over the years, I've gone down, put plastic ones on, try to hold it in place. But
Yeah.
it just needs to be put together better.
Scott, did you want to talk about the correspondence from Utha Monkowitz, who wants to re-verify billing?
Yes, or name, so I'm sorry.
Utha.
Remember that lady who had that 600-pound door more?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She went and got a permit, and I was gonna put the dormer out in the river. And I don't know who in the yacht club asked me in regards to so-and-so's not gonna be on their mooring. I think it was Peridius. Could she use their mooring for the rest of the year? And I agreed to it. I don't know how long it was. I really don't. But she got
But she had a mooring, so to speak.
and it never got put in.
Never got put in.
But she ended up using somebody else's mooring. Is it a wash?
Did she pay for the mooring last year?
She paid for a permit to go out in the river.
Okay.
So
Is it the same price as the North Cove or not?
Less.
it's
Slightly
less, but
less.
she wasn't in there as
Understood.
long. She was only in there for 2 months at best. To me, it's sort of a wash.
She had to pay for this year, but not, she doesn't have a credit going forward.
Right.
That's what she's asking.
She was asking that because her mooring didn't get dropped, does she have to pay again this year?
I sort of feel yes, because she used somebody else's mooring. I was gonna put it in, and then they come up with the idea of using Prettius's mooring because they weren't on it for the rest of the season.
Yeah, she,
So she did still get a mooring.
but British paid for it.
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you guys think?
So leave that up to you guys.
So, I forget what the cost for river mooring is.
$175, I think,
175, and in the cove is
$380.
380. So she paid 175, but didn't launch her mooring.
Because she said, because, but it was her, she was the one that
They come up with
did it.
the idea of using
Right.
the one inside the cove instead of out in the river.
I mean, we tell her to pay 380 minus 175 this next season, or just say, you, you got the use of a mooring for $175 in the cove.
We didn't put it in because we knew you had a mooring, so.
Well, she's not in, she's not,
She won't be in the cove again. She'll
No.
still be in the river this
Yeah,
year.
so she'll pay.
So it'll be another 175.
I think so.
Never pay it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
We paid for the mooring. She ended up on a mooring.
He got one, and so Scott didn't put the mooring in.
Correct.
Actually
Because she-
physically put it
yeah.
in because she had one.
Yeah.
because she used somebody else's mooring in North Cove.
Had
In the cove.
she not told you that,
At the very end of the season or something?
Yeah, like, I'm gonna take a guess, 2 months to the end of the season.
Yeah,
So she's still, actually, she got a closer mooring, if you will.
yeah.
And no, I did not put hers in. Yes, she had a permit for it.
Yeah. So it's the
You would have
permit.
put it in had she not
Correct.
said anything.
It's the permit fee that she
It's
wants.
the permit.
She,
I-
Or
she
go-
doesn't want to.
Go towards this next season.
Yeah, she just wants it to pay for this season
I-
instead of last season.
Seriously, I think she has to pay, so.
Or we could cut her that, she has to pay for the True North Cove fee for last year.
Yeah, 380.
380.
I guess maybe that's the way to explain it, is
I mean-
we actually got a North Cove for, that would normally be 380 for the 175.
That's an
I
interesting.
mean, she wasn't there the full season. I totally understand that.
Right. We're not doing credit.
She would have had a
based on
mooring out the
how many
river
months
for
you're in.
175 and she would have had to go all the way out to the river.
Yeah,
And she would have had to come all the way back how many times in a little boat or whatever. Instead, she got a mooring, it was like 1/3 the way versus what she would have had to have done for the same amount of time she wanted a mooring in the river for. So
she paid a
she
lot.
sort of got what she wanted.
As far as, I think, you know, the permit is a permit to do it. If you accept it, you pay for it. And now whether it actually got physically put in is a second question.
Hmm.
She had the permit. You couldn't give it to anybody else.
I mean, technically, she should have been bid for a North Cove mooring last year, which would have been 385, but we just took the 175, which is the short end of the season, right?
Well, that one was already paid.
That one's already paid
So
for
we wouldn't
by the
go.
mooring holder.
Right. I guess if she were going to have a mooring in North Cove, the three.
I think the permit, once you have a permit fee, it's kind of
Keep done.
up to you to get a mooring on it. And if you didn't do it because you didn't need it, you decided not to do that. So I think she owes 175.
I think it's rather question, that's a pretty heavy
Yeah.
mooring she's got, that door more thing,
600.
Yeah.
600 pounds, yeah, so you're comfortable it's gonna hold in the river.
Oh, yeah. I put 250-pound moorings out in the river for a 30-foot sailboat. It's been okay. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely heavy bottom chain and obviously heavier is always better to a point.
Right. Okay. All right, new business. We have a LWRD license application and the location is 27 Barnes Road. I'm not sure where that is. But let's kind of see from the mouth, so near the mouth of the Oyster River.
I want to know why Bob's not here.
Why?
11B.
Yeah, I noticed that, yes. So this looks like they're just documenting, I mean, when I read through, the only page 8 is where the stuff is. You know,
Yeah, so there's no new construction, right?
Construction are basically,
When I read through it, I didn't see any new construction.
No.
They're trying to
I
permit.
think they're documenting what's there, looks like.
It's a retention.
Yeah.
It's a permit, yeah, so it's probably, they were probably identified as someone that didn't have a permit
Right,
and
and they need it.
They went back and had historical photographs for 20 years.
it's honestly exactly the same argument we'd make for
Yeah.
our dock there, if anyone were like, wait a minute. Dock there.
Okay.
I just,
You bet.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a bridge over the river. Like stairs and a cross bridge.
you know.
Yeah, we'll make sure you got it okay.
Yeah, no, I think we're fine. Trying to figure out what the just a new application form that I'm not really. The retention of existing structures, I think we're doing fine.
So in that case, we just say no, we don't say comment, we just
Yeah, I just
acknowledge
usually
receipt.
acknowledge without comment.
Unless Rob, you have.
Nope, no comment.
Good, okay,
We're good.
okay. Election of chairman and secretary. Who wants the jobs?
Take one step backwards.
I would really want it, but I think it'd be a conflict of interest, so I can't do it. I'm sorry.
Would be.
You're doing a fantastic job. So is Bob.
Bob's not here to protect himself.
Yes, it is.
So do we need a motion for this? I think we do.
Yeah, I mean,
Motion.
do you normally like somebody nominates
I think
the
so.
people and,
Nominate, second approve.
Yeah.
Election, so it's a process. So nominations for chairman,
I'll nominate Bob Murphy.
second, discussion, nomination accepted, secretary.
I'll nominate. You're truly.
Second.
I'll second it.
Okay, nominations. And now the election, those in favor of electing
What,
chairman.
no campaigning?
Bob. Highly contested, polarizing race here.
This is so corrupt.
Those in favor of Bob Murphy for chairman, say aye.
Aye.
Or motion to make Bob.
Aye.
Say aye. Okay, aye, motion carries. Bob is chairman. Motion to elect Paul secretary.
Aye.
Aye.
Second,
Aye.
okay. Aye, done. Pretty sure we did that the right way.
close enough.
Close enough. Old business, Amtrak River Bridge updates. I know they update their site not every day, but they do update their site on what they're doing.
Okay.
They're active.
We got an email recently.
Yeah,
right?
We got an
yeah,
email.
yeah.
Any other pieces on that? No. Ordinance change, nothing new, there. Memorial benches, nothing new. Connecticut River dredging, nothing new. Kayak subcommittee, nothing new. Video surveillance, nothing new. Go ahead. You have something? On one of those?
Bob asked me about it the other day.
Video?
Yeah,
May want to wait just a bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
This might not be the time.
no, that's fine. I mean, maybe we should have more people here or whatever for it.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree, yeah. Update on harbor management plan. I actually do have some update. I've been working with Jeff, and there's things going on at the state level that are being pushed by Groton, Stonington, Greenwich, and Stamford to make beefy additions to the harbor management plan. And I've got drafts that I can email to anybody of what they're talking about, but this is high level stuff. This is like the harbor management commissions in Connecticut kind of stuff. And I kind of, given who's dealing with it already, so I suspect that we probably couldn't add very much of, substance. So what it might involve though is it's going to be in committee like last time. And what has to happen is he's looking for, Jeff says it would be good for all the commissions to attempt to get co-sponsors of the plan so that it gets out of committee, so that it gets actually voted. What happened last year is it got dead and committee never got voted out. So that means nothing ever happened. No one had a vote on it. Just the chairman of whatever committee it is didn't move it. But if there's enough support for it, if they sense enough support for it, they will. So my question to Bob was, and I had a note in here about it, is this something we want to do as individuals if we choose to do it, or is this something that would better be done as a commission to send a letter to, like, this is the House, so this is Deb and Carney, and presumably the senator, Martha, It'll be Devin Carney, and isn't there a second rep here, I guess, right? We have. No, it's just Devin in our district, right? It's just single district. So that's really the question. Should we do it as a commission, or do you think we should do it individually?
I have more power as a commission, I think.
I'm interested,
I would think so.
but I would imagine if we all kind of agree on it, there's,
Right,
as a commission, it seems like the most.
right. I can
It's more like
send
the-
it to
definitely
you.
not gonna read this. I know. It's more, it's about
If you have
the,
a copy, I'd like.
Yeah, totally, that's.
I will send copies.
is it like about the authority of the commission?
It
and this kind of stuff?
but it's clarifying and it's overcoming the thing that made Stanford Commission powerless in dealing with Amtrak last time. When Amtrak just said, never mind, we're just gonna do what we're gonna do. And, this would, and the judge found that there was a statute that somehow made this law, the law that existed, not valid, therefore, blah, blah. And anybody could potentially use that trick. So basically, it's taken all the teeth out of the harbor commissions completely. And this is language to put it back in so that we still have a say. For example, it's a meaningful say. It's not just a, hi, how are you? Because in Norwalk, apparently what happened is the Harbor Commission was treated as a citizen. These comments were valued as, as citizen input
Two, and Amtrak.
to the whole operation. So in other words, they just said, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice
They didn't have to
comments.
address them.
Didn't have to do anything. So that's what's going on here. And he's been very key in working with, the governor, and, he's up there doing this kind of stuff, which is why he hasn't gotten to ours, but that's a different story. So would you guys feel comfortable, or we can push it till next time? It's not a rush. Why don't I send this around? And if you guys are comfortable, maybe next time we can decide if we want to draft a letter. I will send that around to everyone. And I try not to, he sends me stuff kind of all the time. I try not to just, much of it is not really what we need to be involved in. The other thing on the harbor management plan is I would ask that you guys look at the table of contents. It's in the harbor management plan itself, it's pages 5 through 9. And in there, what I'm hoping to do, and it's especially chapter 3 that we need to update. Jeff is doing chapter 1 and chapter 3. Those are the two big chapters. And if you look at the topics, just to give you a sense, topics in chapter 1, historical use and development, conditions affecting navigation, environmental conditions, coastal resources, water dependent uses and facilities. These are already written. What they need to do is need to go through and just make sure nothing's changed, or if it has changed, make an edit here or there. So I think the best way to do this is to divvy it up and just say, I'll take a look at this, this, and this. And so it's chapters 1 and 3 would be helpful. So maybe next time you could say, hey, I can take a look at this, this, and this. So the only task here is, could you look at it, at least be thinking about it, and say, I could handle that one. I could edit these chapters. I've already gotten some information on the history because I get to Ted Levy, who's done the historical articles in the newspaper, and so I've got that one already. The history is in chapter 1. It's a section. Go ahead.
Do you have that as a PDF?
Yeah, it's actually on the website.
It's on the website.
Just
okay.
click. It's 180 something pages.
Yep.
It's crazy. And also, if you, I can send around well, if you look at also the list of figures, and if you look at the list and say, yeah, I can look at that and I can see if it's current or if it needs updating. He's already done some updating of some of these, and I will try to find that and send that. The ones that have been updated. So I can send you the updates that he's given me to the figures, and this 2 chapters that are the bill and the bill number.
So the updated version that he works in, is that the one that's on? That's not, because we'd have to. Yeah, so that's not the one that's on the website, but.
No, this is the existing one, right, right.
Okay.
And that's all we really have.
Okay.
I mean, we do have a Word file, so we could edit it, but he's working off the one that he had way, way back,
Oh, okay.
because he did it
Okay,
20
yeah.
something years ago. So he's updating these, but if you could just acknowledge, for example, figure 1-2, Old Saybrook at the mouth of the Connecticut River and Long Island Sound. Is that figure showing what it says as figures, and is any changes?
Mhm.
Just that kind of stuff. It's just time consuming. If you
Yeah.
feel like you could tick off a few of those, I could keep a master list and we tick them off, tick them off, tick them off, and all of a sudden we've got a draft. So if you take a look at that, maybe for next time. Discussion of potential installation of small floating dock. Ooh,
Yep, so I think everyone's got a copy of it. But yeah, the concept was just to put 4 pilings, put a rubber defender on the inboard sides. So the folks, don't get creeped up, and put like a cleat on the south side, so you can tie lines to them. And I was looking at, like a 9-inch butt pile, but the thoughts you guys had before the meeting here of ice protection, we could go with larger piles. I was trying to keep them small, easier to install and cost wise, but the money's in the install, not in the material, really.
right.
So if we go to a larger pile, it would probably be. When you mentioned steel piles as a possibility.
It's great for ice defense, but it's a massive industrial.
And it's harder to install the fender into it.
And if you look at this, you're talking about, a depth of 2.5 feet. So given, how far it's driven down, presumably.
Right, it's not like a deep pile that's getting pushed over by the ice. And
At the
pushed back and
top, a
forth.
lot of leverage. There's not a lot of
In
leverage.
regards to the piling, you can put 2x4s, on the piling, you figure out where the mean high, mean low is.
Mhm.
And if you put 2x4s on the sides of the pilings, so if it iced up, the ice goes up, freezes, comes down and
Oh.
breaks.
That's interesting.
They did that at Scaramella's house.
Take a look.
So
If
you
it was-
put like a pole, right through it. a bolt
No,
right through it?
you screw it lengthwise,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I
just
see.
to the
I see.
side, so the ice just
I see.
can't
Oh, it doesn't, yeah.
hug it, it just
Yeah, yeah,
breaks. Breaks, breaks.
simple.
breaks. Yeah.
Hmm.
If it got real bad, we had a problem like the clothesline, then maybe the outer two,
Mhm.
dogleg them.
Yeah, we put batter piles on.
Yeah.
I feel like in the Great Lakes, sometimes they dry the piles upside down. So when the ice is stuck with the piling going up, it gets narrower and it breaks away from the piling.
That's not a bad idea either.
That's clever.
Hmm.
Huh. Those freshwater people are pretty clever.
I know. Great Lakes.
Yeah.
And we could ask someone, like, Thank River Dock and Dredge, see what they would think about
They would think
driving
about
it
doing it.
upside down.
Interesting. Huh. Okay.
But if we think we want to move forward with this, I guess we do need to go back to the EP to show them what we're thinking about doing.
That would be the next step.
And I think we'd have to figure out if it's like a modification of the existing permit or if it's its own separate permit.
Our permit is still active,
As
right?
far as I understand, yeah.
There was pilings there.
It's fancy, you gotta go back to 1930.
38.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I
You won't
remember.
find them on the aerial view.
Right, just before they invented airplanes.
That's right.
So next, so.
So I can reach out to
Move it forward?
Coastline. We want me to contact Coastline and get a proposal from them to approach the EP.
Yeah, I
In
didn't, just pick his
Yeah.
brain if we can modify if we can look to modify the existing or if he thinks it has to go to a new permit or what. I mean, it's
Okay.
kind of all part of the same improvement. We can just kind of justify it if we recognize that.
And if they think we do need to send something, I'll ask them for a price.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
You-
No, I think no matter what, he's gonna have to give us a proposal to do some work. It's just whether or not it's an update of an existing permit, which is quite a bit easier.
Okay.
It might be a stretch at this point, or.
Update or new.
Cause if it's a brand new, if it's a whole new permit just for those 4 things, like it's gonna be a pretty expensive, and we may wanna think about
Right,
what else do we wanna build into it if we can,
right.
just to have a permit to do
Like you're talking about, maybe, get an extension on this. That would be a add-on if they said.
Yeah, if we're doing a whole new permit, we could build a whole like pier.
I was just gonna say that, if you're gonna do that, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You have 2 pilings there, go from the concrete, stone wall out.
That would become a magnet for kids fishing.
That was our issue, yeah, we talked about the floating dock and.
Yeah.
We don't have the parking and all that kind of
This falls back on cameras, which we'll talk about next month.
Okay, good enough, fair enough. All right, and just by the way, in the packet is the letter from Jeff that explains what these things are, but I didn't include them actually as attachments, so I will do both of those things. Just FYI. All right, Paul, invoices, okay. I would like to make a motion to pay the following bills. $500 to the North Cove Yacht Club for keeping our docks for the winter. Safe condition, let's see, $245 to Online Mooring for their application fees. $9.29 to Connecticut Water for Sheffield, and $191.23 for Connecticut Water for Ferry Road. To $1,172 to the state of Connecticut for sales tax. Saybrook Hardware, what happens with
Okay.
these? Why don't we get these in time?
Okay. I wouldn't talk to him at Saybrook Hardware, I should have brought.
But let me finish and do
Okay,
discussion.
okay.
So payment to pay $16.15 to Saybrook Hardware. 2 invoices, one for $16.15 and the other for $14.99.
It's 1615
Is the total?
Is the total. It was originally.
I see.
1492.
Okay, $16.15 for Saybrook Hardware, and then $952.
62.
I'm just noticed the sales tax on that. We're not a taxable entity.
Oh,
So can we subtract, let's see, take that out instead.
Although it wasn't us purchasing it directly. Cause he's a private citizen.
But he doesn't, he can't charge us sales tax. We don't pay sales tax for a municipality. Municipalities don't charge sales tax, but I don't pay sales tax.
I think I get what your point, but I think if he paid the sales tax, he's just passing on the fee to us. He's not
But
passing.
he's a
on-
contractor.
He has to revise, so he needs to send us a revised invoice that bundles it somewhere else, not as sales tax, because we don't pay sales tax. So put it in the other fees, I think, to be legal, but we'll pay the $952.90. So that's the motion, is to pay $952.90.
So if he just.
Maybe request the revised invoice that doesn't show the sales tax as a separate item.
Or in the installation invoice, he could bury it somewhere else.
Yeah. He could just charge
Yeah, 'cause he-
$952.90 for materials.
Yeah, and by the way, he shouldn't, are not our business, but he shouldn't be paying it either, because it's for resale. I tax laws all the time in our business, it's for resale. He's gonna sell it to us, so he's not a taxable entity in New York. I know in New York, because I have an employee in New York. Anyway,
But I can't do
Doesn't matter.
Nintendo and I sell it to them. With.
sales tax, yeah.
Only if your kids have the business.
All right, so there's the motion to pay the bills. Do I hear a second?
So what
I'll
about?
second.
Motion. Okay, now discussion. Saber Car 31.
Okay, Saybrook Hardware, I called them on it. I'm sorry, I went down there and talked to them on it. I don't know, they don't know who did it, I don't know who did it. That's not my signature. So, being at $16, instead of getting in an argument with them, we're gonna pay it. But what I told them was, Jennifer's got to draft a letter to them of who can use the account. And I told him, I said, you guys should be asking for ID or something. I said, because honestly, I said, that's not my signature. Because, well,
we don't have anything to compare it with. I said, here's my driver's license. You wanna check? Well, anyway,
Okay, so they're gonna,
it's gonna be a list.
Want that? Yeah. Did it end up on any of our?
I don't know, because in all honesty,
was never sent to us.
why brass hose with shut off? It is something we could possibly use down Sheffield Street or Ferry
Yeah.
Road or something, but that's not my signature. And honestly, maybe they should have you sign it and have you print your name. I don't know. But I just told myself, listen, then we need to come up with a list of people who can use this.
Right.
And whoever of us use it, sign your name and print your name. I'll do it too.
Yeah, I ran into this years ago with them too. The other thing, they would send a bill to town of Saybrook. It would take like 3 months to find the right department.
I asked them, I said, could Public Works have done it? No, they wouldn't know. All right.
It says harbor management, but yeah. All right, so with those additions, comments by Scott, you'll deliver to Saybrook Hardware, will, remains a motion to pay $16.15.
Who do you want me to put in the letter? Do you want me to put like everyone on the commission?
David, do you want to be on the letter to buy stuff from?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Yeah, I've picked up stuff there, but yeah.
I would say Bob, David, and Scott.
She might need something from there too for,
Every once in a while.
Yeah. I don't,
Well, actually, for this,
want to just be on, put everyone on there,
Okay,
put the commission members on there. That, and yourself and Scott.
because for this project, he's gonna need fasteners, I was gonna get them either from Saybrook Hardware or,
So
we have a kind of grid lumber as well, you know?
we do.
Sort of.
oh, town, yes, yeah, oh, yeah.
Harbor management, okay.
all right, motion to approve the bills.
Wait a minute,
Whoop.
I am still unclear about what you want me to do with it.
So for that one, we're gonna pay the bill. Just ask them to submit.
Else as the backup.
But you're gonna pay minus the sales tax, and I'll talk to him about the sales tax. I don't think he's gonna
I
be
see
able
what
to-
he's doing. I mean, I get what he's doing, but I don't know, am I being a jerk? Just pay this?
I mean, either way, one way or another, we're gonna pay. You're just
Yeah, I'm gonna
asking
pay
him to rewrite the bill and just don't add the $56 in somewhere else.
Sort of.
No, you know what,
Anything.
just FYI, tell them we are not charge sales taxes, so.
in the future.
Yeah. All right, so that's the resolution on that.
Okay.
Good, okay. So motion to approve, second,
I thought
Okay.
One
Dave second.
second.
okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
David, you're up.
All right, Paul, you broke the record again, 8:01. I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Discussion. Favor?
Let's talk about it.
Aye.
Let's have a discussion.